Everybody's talking to Paul. I hear every word they're saying on my laptop, on my phone. When life seems a constant battle, I tune into Earnest Prattle. It will brighten even your darkest day.
Earnest Prattle is back after quite a long holiday, and I can say that I've been saving this one for somebody really, really special. And so it's absolute pleasure to introduce my friend Boz Boorer. So
hello, sir.
Thank you very much for spending your time today, Boz.
My pleasure.
Now, first thing I need to ask you, Boz, is how's the boss? How Lynn?
Sorry, how's Lynn?
Yeah, the boss. Is she well?
She's in Portugal. She keeps trying to ring me, but I had a Zoom meeting this morning, and but I'm going to see her tomorrow. But I think she's well. She's been busy all the weekend. All the tiles moved on the roof, so she had someone on the roof all day fixing them. So
send them a love when you see her, Boz. But
I will do.
For those people in the world that might not know much about Boz Boorer, could you just give us a quick overview about who you are and what you're about, Boz, if that's all right?
Sure. I'm 60 years old. I was born in northwest London. After I left school, I was in a band called the Polecats, and we had some success, TV and records. And I was an engineer. Well, I joined a few other bands. I was in a band with my wife called the Shillelagh Sisters, the singer of which went on to be in Bananarama, Jackie O'Sullivan. And then I became a studio engineer for about six years at Chrysalis, where I played on various different sessions with various different people. And then in 1991, I met Morrissey, who invited me to be his musical director. And that lasted for 30 years. And now I live in Portugal. And I have a record shop. I've had a record shops all up, for that whole time, really. But now I bought a record shop in Portugal, and I'm resident there.
What came first then, Boz? Was you a vinyl fan before a musician, or was it the other way around?
When I started listening to pop music, I was about eight or 9 years old.
Yeah.
You have the money to buy records. And that just came gradually. I mean, it's taken over, really. Just before lockdown, I bought 14,000 singles.
14,000 singles.
It kept me sane in lockdown, I think.
Is there just a shop in Portugal at the minute then?
Yeah, we do a couple of. We have two online. I have the VB Boutique on Discogs, which is in England, and I'm setting up the one in Portugal.
I mean, because it's such an obsession, the amount of vinyl you've got, Boz, but it's what would you say is your most precious piece of vinyl you've got, Boz?
Midsummer Night's Scene by John's Children is probably the toughest record I have, and I've got some quite rare rockabilly records. But I collect punk and glam rock, rockabilly. I've got quite a big collection of my own records now.
Absolutely, you have some of my own myself, and in relation to, I've got to ask this, Boz, is your time with Morrissey. I know you've collaborated with Morrissey quite a few times, and you've written a lot of songs together. What do you think is your highlight of that? What's your favourite song with Morrissey?
Well, there's quite a few I find. I probably like the ones that are more left field, like Teachers Are Afraid of the Pupils, which is classical and hip hop and everything rolled into one. Jack the Ripper's always special because it was the first one. Ammunition I really liked. More recently, Jackie. Hard to pinpoint one really. Staircase to University I thought was particularly good. I like the solo at the end and the way that all came together. Scandinavia is another thing, weird classical come sort of glam rocky. I don't really have a favourite, but there's a lot of work there, and I'm very proud of it.
So, I mean, what is it now? In the relationship with Morrissey, you've stepped back now. Are you semi-retired from that then, Boz? Or
yeah, right. I think I'd sound retired, but I seem to be working hard.
Well, exactly. You're a hard man to get hold of.
It's yeah. I came back to do 2 little shows here in England, but they were both cancelled. But I haven't stopped since I got back. But that's mainly to do with, well, I've made a shipment back over to Portugal that they picked up yesterday. That was 30 boxes. I bought a ton of records while I was away. So I had 400 Northern Soul singles to price up. Yeah, it's just, it's different.
And it's not just the records. You've got a vast collection. You got quite a few guitars as well, Boz. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to whittle that down a bit because there's things I just don't use anymore. There's some I've never used on anything. I sold a Les Paul last year that I'd never even plugged in. I bought it because it was a good deal. So heavy I could never use it really live.
Where do you store these things, Boz?
All over the world.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. You need to.
Yeah, I've got a lock up here. There's some here. There's some in Portugal. There's nothing in America anymore. But yeah, I'm just sort of slowly bringing them down and clearing out the ones that just gather dust that I don't need.
Are any of those particularly expensive, or do they mean anything special to you?
There's a pink penguin that Gretsch made me, and it ended up being the very first custom shop guitar that they ever made.
Right.
It's you can find the chain on the web. They were going to do a Boz Boorer model, but the guy hated pink, so he went, "That's it, I'm only making one." So just by default, it became the first custom. And I've started using that more recently, and that's a very nice guitar. And I've got a guitar that belonged to Mark Bolan, which is an SG Junior. Well, it's not. It's got a junior neck and a proper body. But I got the riff for "The More You Ignore Me" from that guitar.
Oh, I love that riff, I do, Boz.
Now, 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 now.
You got a guitar there now, Boz?
Somewhere. Not bad.
Absolutely fantastic, Boz. There's a world exclusive there, look.
Yeah, I've never used this guitar live. It's one that arrived just before lockdown, and so I've never used it on anything. It was quite in tune, surprisingly.
It is, well, yeah, very in tune, Boz.
I had I can see it's got bits of duster on it, so I obviously had cleaned it at one point. Yeah, that works.
Absolutely excellent, Boz. Thank you for that.
All right.
And that was impromptu. You're such a talented gentleman, I must say. I was very impressed.
Well, I did mean to have one handy, but I forgot because I was running around. I'd just taken my mother-in-law down to the home to see my father-in-law.
Okay.
So I was a couple of minutes late getting back. When you go in there, I've done it every day this week. You've got to take a test, obviously, when you go in, because take a test and you put it down on a piece of paper and you put your name down. But then about before Christmas, someone went in there, took a test, didn't put their name down, and it was positive, and they don't know who it was.
Brilliant. So,
So,
Boz, you know, when you was touring with Morrissey,
yeah.
what did you guys used to like get up to in the daytime? Because I mean, did he kind of keep himself to himself? I'm assuming
Well, we didn't stay at the same hotels.
you didn't.
No. So sometimes we meet up, sometimes we wouldn't. I just spent all day looking for records,
That doesn't surprise me, to be fair.
records and guitars. I think it kept me sane. Gave me something to look forward to. Gave me something to do while I was away. Keep me on the
Uh,
straight.
And when he was gigging with Moz, what was your favourite gig? Can you remember one that sticks out in particular?
Uh,
I mean, there's been some fantastic ones, to be honest.
I mean, Indonesia was amazing. Mexico was always good. Brixton Academy was always fantastic. And some of the smaller shows were amazing as well. Whitehaven, 350 people. It was a completely mad night. Yeah, it was. I mean,
Well, I can remember Bradford with my mum when I met you at the stage door once, Boz.
yeah, at Bradford City Hall.
City Hall at Bradford, you've got it.
Played
I
there a
think it
few
was the
times.
Queen Elizabeth pub was across the road. My mother waited over there, and I said, "Excuse me, I've got to go and say hello to Boz."
Oh,
So I
nice.
ran over Boz.
Bradford, it was a round venue, I think, inside.
It was,
Yeah,
and the sound in there that night was fantastic.
can't remember the sound. I can usually remember the sound if it wasn't very good.
I can remember the sound at Birmingham when Jamie Oliver turned the electricity off. So Morrissey said when it failed for a minute.
I can't remember that at all.
But
It's funny the things. If I go back to places, I look at them and I go, "Oh, I remember this place," you know. But
I've
I think
seen Moz 13 times with your good self on stage there, Boz, and I've taken my mother to 4 of the events, and she's like that into it now. She's 78, and she's a massive fan. But like I say, I remember Glasgow Barrowlands was my favourite because she was.
oh, that was were you there the first time we ever did?
Yeah, yeah,
That was special as well because that's the first time we ever played a Smith song.
yes,
And it didn't even say the title on the set list. It just said encore.
yeah, that's right.
And we
And
went back
that was like that venue. It's dead close to the stage, and it's not a very big venue, but I just thought it was fantastic.
oh,
To
it's
be
a
fair,
tremendous place to play.
yeah.
And we just went down, 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 and people just went mad. They were throwing their pint glasses at us. But you know how much beer costs? I mean, that shows that they
Well,
love
exactly.
beer at you. And my mum came to 2 shows, I think. She definitely came to one of the Bowie shows at Wembley.
Oh, that'd have been
Because
amazing.
my dad said, take the video camera and make a little film for me. Of course, you're not allowed to take video cameras into gigs. There's a call. It's like, boss, yeah, what's up? Security have stopped your mum at coming into the gig. She's got a video camera. So I had to go down there.
What do you say? She's not flogging contraband again, is she?
No.
No.
And she came to one of the Albert Hall gigs as well.
Oh, well, yeah, I went to a couple of those as well.
And I made sure she had some earplugs because I think she was complaining that it was too noisy. But I think she was proud, you know.
I mean, yourself, boss. Other than Morrissey, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because also I'm a big fan of Morrissey as well. But Who else have you collaborated with musically?
I've done lots of. I never stopped really in 40 years writing and collaborating and playing. I did. I worked with Adam Ant quite a lot.
Oh, I love Adamant.
We did an album called Wonderful, and I think I co-wrote 10 of the songs on it. And just before it came out, we did a big tour of America, which is a lot of fun. And then I visited him a lot when he wasn't well, and we started doing some recording then. And I think for the next 2 years, we recorded quite a lot of songs. And there's a few of them on the Married to the Gunner's Daughter album that he put out. And I go and see him probably once a year, usually at the Roundhouse. He's still great, and I love him, and I love his songs.
I say, who is it you like to watch then? If you go to see some live music, then Boz.
I don't know really. I've always enjoyed a rockabilly band called Big Sandy.
Right.
To see them a lot, and a band called the Planet Rockers, who were doing their last ever gig in Spain at the beginning of February, a rockabilly weekend. So we're going to go and see them there. I can't. Oh, I did go and see a band on Friday, and the band's name is the name of the singer, Sasha. 3-piece girl punk band.
Right.
Yeah, good attitude, good songs. That was fun. And the support band, which I didn't catch the name. Again, young, energetic.
What I need to do now, Boz, if that's okay, I usually wrap up the vlog by asking my guests to leave a message or say hello to my mother. And my mother's name is Anne. So would you be kind enough just to leave a quick message for my mum, please, Boz, if that's okay?
Sure. Hello, Anne. It's Boz, Paul's mate. Hope you're doing well. I've heard you come and seen us a couple of times. First time you stayed in the pub. Probably the best idea, really. No, I'm only joking. Anyways, I hope this finds you well, and be good.
Thanks, Boz. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your time today, Boz. Very much appreciated.
Okay.
Cheers, brother.